If you met celebrities like Mary Wilson of the Supremes, or Mickey Dolenz of the Monkees, or Bill Wyman of the Rolling Stones, what would you ask them? Well, if you're me or Mark Bigo, you ask them, what do you love to eat? Because I want to eat like a rock star. Mark has actually published 61 books on rock and roll and show business, but I'm so happy that he has shifted gears to write this cookbook. Mark is here with me to talk about kind of this new venture.
I came up with this idea on my own. I had done a magazine with Mary Wilson of the Supremes, and I said, there's a couple pages, we need some sort of magazine-y feature. Do you have maybe a couple recipes? So she gave me a couple recipes, and I loved the way they came out. And I thought, a cookbook of rock star recipes. That's what I'm going to do. So I came on the Morning Blend 3 years ago to say I have a food blog. This is going to make a great cookbook. And I'm back here to announce the cookbook is coming out in October, and you're the first TV show I'm mentioning it on.
Oh, you heard it here first.
It's true.
What a labor of love. And so you said you started with, the blog and a couple recipes. How much do we have in the cookbook altogether?
There's 118 recipes. There's photos of everything. And the important thing about this cookbook is that anyone could make these recipes, because I took the pictures in the cookbook. This is how they turn out. If I can do it, you can do it.
Well, the biggest celebrity that's in this book has over 40 recipes, and that'd be you.
That's me. Well, I had to prove I could cook too, because my manager said, well, no one's going to believe a cookbook from you unless you show that you can cook as well. So I brought my key lime donuts to prove it.
I love when you have to prove me right by bringing me food. So this recipe is in the book.
It is in the book.
So how did you come up with this? Was it like a mad scientist thing?
It really kind of was. I tried all different flavors, and I'm a key lime fancier from way back. And I thought, what is the ultimate lime donut you could have?
Yeah.
And I think I came up with it. So if you follow my recipe, you too can make these.
Oh my gosh, these look amazing. What can you give me a little hint on what's I see coconut, I think.
There's coconut. I put coconut in to give it a little texture.
Yeah.
There's lime zest, lime juice, and lime oil. So these are like ultra lime.
Oh,
it's like a daiquiri in a donut.
You speak in my language.
Can I sell food or what?
I love that. So we, of course, this is like a dessert or a breakfast or something
exactly.
like that. But what other, are we doing everything from entrees to everything?
Absolutely. There's 10 different chapters. There's breakfast, there's hors d'oeuvres, there's lunch, poultry, pasta, dessert, cocktails, of course. This is rock and roll. I've got some great cocktails in this cookbook.
And I mentioned a couple of the names off the top, Mickey Dolenz, but who else do we have in there?
Well, yeah, I kind of spread out, and I called everybody I've met in the last 40 years, because I write books about rock and roll. So I called on Marilyn McCoo from The Fifth Dimension, Thelma Houston, Bill Wyman of the Rolling Stones, Michael McDonald, Boz Scaggs, Randy Jones from the Village People, a lot of rock stars from the 50s, Freddie Cannon. I got Angela Bowie in. I got just about everybody I know. So I've covered all kinds of music, all kinds of eras, and all sorts of food. Really good food. Was
there some things that kind of surprised you when you got a hold of someone when they were like, I've got this awesome recipe for XYZ?
Yes, Michelle Phillips from the Mamas and Papas. A chicken recipe that is so good. It's got a beef gravy on it. It sounds bizarre, but it works really well. You marinate the chickens in lemon, and it's got this lemony taste and this fabulous gravy. Tiffany, the teenage singer from the 80s, great Lebanese chicken. I've served that several times. Some amazing things. I've got bouillabaisse. I've got soups. I've got appetizers. Joey Fatone from NSYNC. These great rice balls. He's a great guy, funny guy. Of course, he's got something that goes with cocktails.
Right.
So Mary Wilson and I go to the Kentucky Derby a lot. And we
saw.
meet all sorts of people there. So I'm like, do you have a recipe? Do you have a recipe? So I've got Richie Sambora, and I've got all kinds of people that I've met at the Kentucky Derby. And the book also is about my process of discovering these recipes, making these recipes, and even calling people up and going, does this need gravy on it? Does this, we go back and forth. So it isn't just that I clip these out of a magazine or something.
Right.
I really worked with the rock stars.
Well, I love that you reached out to everybody, you took the pictures, you're adding your own recipes to it. So now I got to ask you, when can I get my hands on the book?
October 17th. But you can also pre-order it on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and other sites as well. So it is viably, you can get one of the first copies that way.
Well, the Tucson Morning Blend, you're announcing it first here. I'm going to make sure I do my pre-order, so I'm one of the first people to get it in my hand.
You're a doll.
And I'm going to be the first person in this room to eat one of these donuts.
Excellent.
Mark, you are awesome. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, this is so much fun. Be on the lookout for Mark Bego's new book, Eat Like a Rock Star. It will feature more than 100 recipes from rock and roll's greatest. To learn more, though, visit markbego.com.